How do you feel about it? Because when you rapped, a rapper, do you think we'll ever have a gay rapper?
I believe there are some gay rappers that just ain't came out the closet.
It appears that the walls are closing in on Diddy as more celebrities come forward with startling details. The most recent of these is Snoop Dogg spilling jaw-dropping secrets about his time. Well, we are coming to you live, late nights, anything can happen, I'm just VI. Recognized as a fellow music industry veteran and one of Diddy's long-standing rivals within Diddy's house, Snoop is said to be more than pleased to see Diddy behind bars, since some of the accusations against Diddy have even caused his closest pals, who have been in the business for as long as Diddy, to desert him. Here are the whole specifics of Snoop Dogg's reported knowledge of several undiscovered facts regarding the bad boy creator. Before we discuss the disclosures, we must investigate the source of Snoop Dogg's intense animosity against the infamous East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry of the 1990s, which was centered on fierce competition. An animosity between artists from Suge Knight's Death Row Records on the West Coast, where Snoop Dogg was a major artist, and Diddy's Bad Boy Records on the East Coast, is the source of Snoop Dogg's animosity towards Diddy. Diddy's Bad Boy Records, on the East Coast, featured musicians like the legendary Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac, while Death Row Records dominated West Coast hip-hop. Infamous Big, what began as a fight for the charts became into a major rivalry between Lil' Kim and the whole Junior MFA. As soon as both sides felt that the other was disrespecting their own cultures in favor of Snoop Dogg, it swiftly went personal. During this time, the street-centric style of the West Coast collided with the hip-hop style of Diddy and Bad Boy. Prominent Hot 97 radio anchor Wendy Williams exacerbated the situation by circulating allegations about Diddy's personal life. She alluded to Diddy's purported homosexuality and coined the word homo.
So we coming to you live, Diddy late nights. Anything can happen. I'm just vibing. So why?
Gangsta to prevent blowback in a business where being homosexual was highly stigmatized, and thugs to characterize rappers she thought were pretending to be straight. Wendy's claims added further controversy to an already tense situation by being included in the larger East Coast-West Coast feud narrative. At the 1995 Source Awards, a crucial event in the competition between the East and West Coasts took place when, during his winning speech, Knight took a clear jab at Diddy with his famous phrase, asking musicians to join Death Row if they made fun of Diddy, who famously appeared in his artists' music videos and hit songs by saying they didn't want their producers in every video. At the same time, Snoop Dogg echoed Suge Knight's sentiments by publicly criticizing the East Coast and rallying support for Death Row Records, which marked a public escalation of rivalry and tension. West Coast artists such as Knight saw this as invasive and self-serving, further dividing the two camps. Between Death Row and Bad Boys persisted, leading to the terrible killings of Notorious Big in 1997 and Tupac in 1996. After Tupac was killed, Snoop, who had grown to be a close friend and collaborator of Tupac's, became the focal point of the conflict. Snoop's animosity for Diddy grew as he thought that their disagreement over labels contributed to the violence that took Tupac's life. Later, Snoop Dogg made statements implying that Diddy may have been responsible for Tupac's death. Although there have been brief periods of apparent reconciliation between the two, Snoop has continued to voice disdain for Diddy's flashy commercial persona for Snoop, who values street credibility and his connection to West Coast culture. Snoop has continued to cite the fierce competition between their camps, even though these accusations remain controversial and lack substantial evidence. Diddy's approach to hip-hop symbolized the genre's commercialization and a break from its true origins. Following Diddy's indictment, which was preceded by a raid on his home, there are a lot of stories and conjectures going around. Rumors of hidden tunnels, encrypted data, and chambers have captured many people, are now looking to Snoop Dogg, who is rumored to be next in line to reveal shocking secrets about his time spent around Diddy. Snoop has long maintained a public facade of camaraderie with Diddy, and his stories have fueled theories that damning evidence might soon come to light as Diddy's world seems to unravel.
And Bad Boy had their artists and stuff like that, and they were all playing softball up there in the Hamptons. And later on, Puff gave a white party.
Getting ready to speak out, individuals close to Snoop claim he has always maintained a deep-seated contempt for Diddy, believing that those who do damaging acts should be held accountable. Despite their seeming closeness, it seems that Snoop's genuine emotions are significantly more nuanced. The most intriguing aspect of this developing story is Snoop's personal evolution. After being fully entrenched in the gangster lifestyle, Snoop had significant legal issues, including being accused of accessory to murder, a situation in which he was eventually found not guilty. But looking back on his path, he has experienced a major change in both his personal life and his perspective on the outside world. In interviews, Snoop has been candid about his decision to choose love over hatred in response to hate. Snoop has shown how this changed perspective goes. He admits that his opinions on women and relationships have changed beyond his personal life and into his artistic endeavors, moving away from the objectification prevalent early in his career to a position of admiration and respect. This shift indicates a more general shift in Snoop's perspective, indicating that his potential disclosures about Diddy could originate from a position of responsibility and a quest for truth. Snoop Dogg's stance for the prevention of gun violence has been informed by his personal evolution. This is especially evident in his collaboration with his daughter Corey B. on the song No Guns Allowed, which draws on his personal experiences. Snoop utilizes his influence to solve the widespread problem of gun violence, inspiring others to choose a more tranquil route. This stands in sharp contrast to the increasingly unsettling claims that Diddy's personal life is falling apart due to a litany of unsettling allegations. As more and more tales about Diddy's perceived influence and power surface, concealed from responsibility, become more evident, the charges leveled against him show a guy abusing drugs and alcohol out of self-interest and manipulating others, creating a traumatizing legacy that dates back decades from Bad Boy's beginnings. Diddy's ascent to fame and fortune is inexorably tied to a deeper, more sinister pattern of conduct, from the release of his records in 1993 to the emergence of his media empire revolt in 2013. Perhaps the most alarming of these claims occurred in November 2023, when Cassandra, the former girlfriend of Cassie Ventura, Diddy, filed a complaint against him, detailing years of abuse that included physical assault, forced drug usage, and coercive control. With him during an interview on Drink Champs, when Diddy made a provocative joke to another guy, referring to him as daddy in a sexual way. Directly with him throughout the unpleasant exchange, this is a recurring problem. Jean Transaction, according to Diddy's ex-bodyguard, the singer allegedly shockingly said, "If I can make a man suck my privates, I can make people do anything for money." This declaration made clear Diddy's addiction to using his position of authority to manipulate others around him. Snoop Dogg has also revealed shocking details on Diddy's renowned parties, where tales of strange and improper conduct have been circulating for years. These lavish million-dollar parties with thousands of attendees often have rigorous clothing standards and limitless booze and drug supply. But it's the strange atmosphere of the gatherings that makes people uncomfortable, not the excess. Many in the business claim that Diddy uses these events as a platform to live out his most extreme sexual fantasies, with no regard for discretion. The idea of being made to engage in such acts is especially unsettling, considering Diddy's purported propensity for conducting sexual experiments on guys. The horrific image of a relationship based on coercion and fear that Cassie's lawsuit presents. Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a complaint in February 2024, accusing Diddy of a year-long campaign of violence and harassment. The case added credence to the allegations that Diddy assaulted the woman and hidden her in hotel rooms for days until her bruises and injuries healed. The complaint filed by Jones also implicated other well-known players in the entertainment business, such as Diddy's son and executives from Universal Music Group, implying a larger network of collusion. Taken together, these accusations paint Diddy as a major character in a rather unsettling setting, prompting some to refer to him as numerous musicians and former associates of Diddy, dubbed the Epstein of the rap business, have voiced unease about working with him. Mostly because of his unpredictable conduct while inebriated and his domineering demeanor, rapper Fabulous was obviously uncomfortable with Diddy's behavior and attempted to avoid interacting. Although Diddy maintains a public persona as a womanizer, his private life appears to reflect a different picture, making many rappers too afraid to attend. Those who know him well or have access to his private gatherings speculate that his hobbies could not match his public persona, causing guests who have been invited to his events to feel uneasy and afraid. Rumors abound around Diddy's past personal connections, especially those with guys. It is said that he has made approaches to a number of rap artists who have been firmly he isn't afraid to show off his seductive side to males, even if he doesn't like to make his intentions known in public. Diddy has always expressed gratitude and admiration for Andre Harrell, the music executive who played a crucial role in launching his career. However, there are rumors that their connection may have been more than professional, and these rumors have intensified due to the complex dynamics in Diddy's personal life, particularly regarding his ex-wife Kim Porter. It was reported that she harbored doubts regarding Diddy's relationship with Harold, particularly after she claimed to have gotten an STD from him in her upcoming autobiography. In the book, Porter was going to reveal that she had been a victim of this circumstance during her time with Diddy, raising questions about more serious problems in their marriage. Clive Davis is another significant character in Diddy's rise to stardom. Although their encounter was first reported as harmless and career-boosting, speculations about Davis's involvement in extramarital affairs have cast doubt on that story. With males, Diddy established bad boy records with Davis's financial assistance, but there are also darker rumors surrounding Kim Porter's untimely death. Some claim that Porter had incriminating video footage of the strange and illegal activities taking place. Diddy was reportedly not the only young artist to benefit from Davis's mentorship. Reports suggest that Davis used his position to engage in sexual activities while promising a brighter future to those he mentored. During Diddy's events, there are dark rumors that Diddy may have sacrificed Kim Porter to protect his secrets, and few people have managed to escape his wild parties. The combination of romantic entanglements, suspicions, and allegations paints a complex and troubling picture of Diddy, leaving many to wonder about the true nature of his relationships and the potential consequences they may hold. If these recordings were ever made public, they could threaten to destroy Diddy's empire and reveal a hidden side of the entertainment industry. Hollywood parties are infamous for drugs, booze, and sex. Nevertheless, gatherings apparently take this to an extreme that even seasoned partygoers find disturbing, despite the abundance of films from these events. Few people dare to discuss their experiences. There are few public information breaches, which fuels concerns about perhaps more sinister actions taking place behind closed doors. Fans have conjectured that Diddy needed to have sex with powerful figures in the business, such as Clive Davis, in order to ensure his career and bad boy records was created. A tweet even reflected this attitude, speculating that Diddy's personal decisions would be disregarded by others, whereas Davis's image as a sex maniac might be a part of the hidden dynamics of the music business. There is evidently growing disquiet about his influence on both men and women. Fans are more concerned about his alleged sexual orientation than with the long-running rumors that he uses his position of authority to influence up-and-coming artists. Allegations have emerged that he gives expensive gifts and promises to newcomers, only for them to disappear. Anticipate being favored in return. Those who doubt Diddy's intentions have noticed this trend and raised questions. Many ambitious people, aware of Diddy's influence in helping them realize their dreams, aim to sign a contract with Bad Boy Entertainment. However, this comes with a cost, and there have been accusations that Diddy takes advantage of his position to introduce young men to a luxurious lifestyle that frequently requires them to comply with his darker desires. The ramifications of these allegations paint a concerning picture of how power relations function in entertainment, leaving many to question how far Diddy has gone to protect his standing and authority in the business. Rapper Exhibit recalled in a 2009 appearance on Foxhole Radio an unusual Diddy moment after accepting his invitation to a club. He and former video vixen Karen Steppen went straight to the VIP area, but discovered it was empty. Deciding to take a break, they moved to the main lobby and said goodbye to Diddy, who had other plans as an exhibit, and Karen settled in, unexpectedly getting lost in the DJ's beats. The artist had a complicated relationship with Diddy that was marred by accusations of manipulation. According to reports, Diddy tried to control Ja Rule's career and personal life, frequently involving his ex-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez. It is said that Diddy would set up situations to encourage Ja Rule to interact with women, only to later insert himself into the mix. This tactic is seen as manipulative and shows how Diddy uses relationships to maintain influence over Ja Rule. Prior bodyguard for he described an incident in which he went with Diddy to an exotic bookstore in Atlanta, where Diddy bought a large collection of adult-themed books and paid with a stack of rolled $100 bills without counting. After leaving, they picked up an up-and-coming rapper and an unidentified woman, then flew to North Carolina for a scheduled show the following day. When they arrived at their hotel's presidential suite, they were joined by Deal interfered and got rid of the guy who was attempting to force his way in and pretend to be Ja Rule's cousin. While watching the door, Ja Rule, who had also reserved the same room, saw this. Ja Rule and Diddy hurried out, both shockingly nude and wrapped in towels. Ja Rule verified to Deal that the guy was really his cousin and cautioned him that you don't want to go in that room. There are a lot of crazy things happening on this event, suggesting that Diddy Ja Rule was having sex with the others. Actions that provide further evidence of Diddy's 2003 habit of luring guys into dangerous situations with Lady Shah's clothes brand by Diddy. The National Labor Committee, NLC, a well-known organization that defends workers' rights, looked into the practices at Southeast Textiles, a factory in Honduras that produced a sizable portion of Sean John's clothing. Their findings revealed that the factory operated under conditions akin to sweatshop labor, raising ethical concerns. John also faced serious allegations concerning labor law violations. Pointed to a quiet corner where the exhibit saw two men, then showed another where a lone figure was dancing. This impromptu scene was unlike anything the exhibit had encountered in his nightclub adventures. Viewers conjectured whether Diddy's invitation had ulterior motives in light of the exhibit's stable financial situation and lack of need for a deal. Their relationship appeared to be platonic, with Diddy unable to coerce the exhibit into doing anything uncomfortable. Emphasized the financial gap between the company and the workers who produce its goods. The accusations went farther. Many workers reported being expressly prohibited from organizing a union, which is a fundamental right under international labor standards. This suppression left them vulnerable and unable to advocate for improved wages or working conditions. Low wages were not the only abusive practices that exposed workers' rights. There were harsh penalties for pregnant women who disclosed their pregnancy, with some even losing their jobs as a result. The climate at Southeast Textiles was characterized as harsh and threatening, with bosses reportedly yelling at employees, creating a hostile environment that discouraged any complaints. This showed a flagrant disdain for family and health concerns in the workplace. Strict guidelines, such as avoiding looking at one another while working, dehumanized employees and fostered a fearful environment. There have also been allegations that workers were pressured to dye their hair a different color to match the shirts they manufactured, underscoring the factory where Sean John's clothing was made was characterized as a strongly secured facility. Surrounded by black gates and patrolled by armed guards, due to the rigorous control management had over their personal appearance. This strict security setup suggested that the workers were afraid of unrest, possibly as a result of the oppressive conditions they endured. There have been reports that employees undergo extensive searches when they enter the facility, which serves to further reinforce the level of control and surveillance that is placed on them, intended to maintain order through intimidation, adding to the general unease. In another incident that happened in 1999, Diddy and record executive Steve Stout got into a violent fight over the music video for the song Hate Me Now by Nas. Diddy made a cameo appearance in the video, but he objected to a scene in which he was shown on a cross, symbolically portraying himself as Christ-like. He later demanded that the scene be removed but felt his request was denied. Disregarding the situation, emotions increased during Diddy and the NLCS inquiry revealed upsetting information about working conditions at Southeast Textiles, raising concerns and drawing attention to larger issues relating to labor rights in the fashion sector. Employees at the factory claimed to have received just 15 cents per hour for each long-sleeved Sean John t-shirt they produced, a striking contrast to the $40 retail price of this significant gap in the United States. Approximately 80% of the factory's production was devoted to Sean John's clothing line, while the remaining 20% served Roa Wear, a brand owned by Jay-Z. Stout's meeting at Interscope Records. Diddy eventually faced legal repercussions for the incident. He pleaded guilty to harassment and was ordered to pay Stout $500,000, which was described as a sudden and unexpected escalation from what had initially been a professional conversation. Witnesses reported that Diddy and several of his associates physically assaulted Stout during the discussion. Stout was knocked down and beaten. People often give in to peer pressure and betray loved ones. Given Snoop Dogg's long-standing friendship with Tupac, Davis has claimed that Diddy ordered the hit on Shakur as part of the infamous East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry. As such, Davis plays a crucial role in the drama surrounding Diddy, and his opinions about Diddy's problems are probably influenced by the past.